What's up with the squad? Back with another video. I see in the title what's going down. Definitely get to check this video out. Make sure y'all go check out Doug and X on the description box down below. Definitely appreciate everybody. Much love. Thank y'all for sharing, liking everything in these videos. It's definitely information that needs to get out to everybody. You already know. Let's get in the video.
Trump was on Maria Bartiromo talking about the vice president. And of course, he left everyone more confused than they started because he has no intention of telling you. And it sounds like he's walking back that he even knows who he's going to pick. We'll go through this interview together, including squashing absolutely false rumors that have gone all over the internet. You guys don't have to worry about that kind of a correction on this show. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Let's go.
When will you announce who your VP is?
Not for a while. I mean, we have so many great people in the Republican Party, but not for a while.
Well,
so first of all, he has no intention of telling you.
what criteria are you using to identify who your running mate is?
Always, it's got to be one thing. It's got to be who would be a good president. I mean, you always have to think that because, you know, in case of emergency, things happen, right?
Facts.
No matter who you are, things happen.
Facts.
It's got to be number one.
Now, that's the best news there is if he's telling the truth, because it means he's not going to try to use.
So just thinking on stuff. Ask yourself, you know, while you sitting at home, while you sitting at, you know, work, or, you know, it's people that it's so cool because this one person had told me that they are I forgot what I think it was an EMT or something. But it's so tight. Like y'all be commenting saying where y'all at and stuff and like what y'all doing, and to watch the videos like while you at work, like that is some. If y'all watching the video while y'all at work, I applaud y'all. I thank y'all so much for that because that's a blessing. You know, it's definitely a blessing to, you know, have this information, and always do your work though. You know, do your work. Don't get in trouble. But at the same time, it's definitely a blessing. It's definitely a blessing. I appreciate every single one of y'all. You know, it's so many of y'all that look out. But that is something that is true. Think of who would be an amazing president. And I know a lot of y'all know that, but I had to think about that. Like, dang, who would, you know? And, you know, for him, for President Trump to actually, you know, take his time on a VP and not just, oh, yeah, I'm bringing on this. It's a nice thing to do. I think it's a wonderful thing to, you know, really think about because it is there's some nice people out there.
Use the vice presidency to win. That is, put in a diversity hire, put in a woman who may not be qualified for president. So he's going, look, this is just someone who Trump thinks would make the best president. Let's keep going because he's going to squash a few bad rumors out there too.
Who is your running mate?
Well, I have a lot of good people. We have a lot of really good people.
So you haven't decided who it is?
I have a lot of good ideas, but I haven't. And there's no reason to do that quickly.
So you haven't told that person, you're my person?
I speak to everybody. I speak to everybody.
He's being so vague, Trump. She's going, so you've spoken to that person. Well, I speak to everybody. That's not an answer. And at the very least, even if Trump does know, it sounds like he has not specifically made an arrangement, which is what I thought he was getting at with Stefanik. So I think he still hasn't decided. And maybe he's vetting them or whatever, but he has a short list. I believe J.D. Vance, Ben Carson, Elise Stefanik are on it, and maybe someone like a Kristi Noem.
You know, I called Tim Scott this because a lot of people like Tim Scott. I called him and I said, you're a much better candidate for me than you are for yourself. When I watched him, he was fine, he was good, but he was very low-key, et cetera, et cetera. I watched him in the last week defending me and sticking up for me and fighting for me. I said, man, you're a much better person for me than you are for yourself, because for himself he was low key. For me, he's been a real tiger. He's been incredible.
Which I think that's good though, to have somebody that can like for real like be behind you. Pause. Like be behind you like on some positivity. Not nobody that's in competition with you or try to make you look, but somebody that's for real, like that's gonna be on your side, that's on your side before even being announced that person is vice president, like, or even, you know, on it. One thing about it, I have a buddy, and we had our bad, you know, and his retro stat. If y'all follow, subscribe to retro stat, that's my cousin, and that's a person that, you know, I don't look to be, in competition, with, my with Steph. Yeah, that's one thing that, he's always, pushing me to hit this or helping me if I got something to do, and that, it's the same. And to have somebody, even if it's somebody that, you're not really, because I have, best friends that, a best friend that I'm not really as close with, big shout outs to Tay and Steph. They don't really post as much, but, when we talk, he, back me up, defend me, especially going through something that he's going through. So I can definitely see where he's coming from with that, more than himself. You need somebody like that. So that's definitely...
This is something I hadn't thought of before. This is why Ron DeSantis was not the right pick for president, even though he's a great, great conservative. He doesn't have a fight in him. He's not the guy who will make a fist. Tim Scott is, but I think Trump is saying like he kind of came to it late in the game. But it also shows that Trump is looking for a kind of a rude brawler in a vice president to be president, which I didn't think of before. But imagine what the next president is going to have to be able to do. The next president is going to have to fight the left by him or herself without Trump, because Trump will be too old or moved on or whatever. He wants to set up America with the next guy capable of pulling off a win in the ring. Who is that fighter?
And to know that you have a person, and that's what people fail to realize. To know that you have a person that is, and it's amazing like hearing this, but to know that you have a person that is running for president, having that mindset that I'm going to win to be president, to think about who I'm going to pick as my vice president if something happens, for him or her to step to be president. Then on top of that, thinking about the future. Having a president to think about the future as well and not just himself and his term that he's serving is amazing. And you can't tell me that it's not.
Again, I think it's Elise Stefanik, but that's me speculating on who can fight. I think Vivek Ramaswamy is a BSer. I think RFK is a hardcore leftist, and that's the next one to squash, is these people who were lying to you about RFK this week. No, he was never in the running.
So maybe it's Tim Scott.
Well, it could be a lot of people. No, but that has nothing to do. I don't want anybody to take even any inference, but it's incredible. Kristi Noem has been incredible fighting for me. She said I'd never run against him because I can't beat him. That was a very nice thing to say.
What was the story that your team reached out to RFK Jr.?
It's a false story, no.
It's false. That's why we didn't report on it. It just smelled bad, and it was obviously smell bad too. I'm going to get into what's so weird about that. I don't get the right's fascination with RFK. RFK is an insane, hardened, leftist Marxist. And they're all going, look, there's like very little difference between Mike Pence and Trump. Let that sink in. I just want to show you how Mike Pence is way out of the game. But his values are very close to Trump's. He just made one different decision on the Constitution than Trump's. Now, the difference between what RFK believes about everything is so far to the left of Mike Pence, including the Constitution. There's nothing in common. And a bunch of conservatives are willing to go for a hardened Marxist, anti-Second Amendment, gun-grabbing, environmentalist Marxist. RFK supports reparations. Just because he's not Mike Pence, you got to open up your mind to the definition of what being an actual conservative is. Mike Pence, you may not like him, but he is not a rhino. You might call him a traitor, but he's not a Marxist traitor like RFK, and half of our party is ready to put him on the vice presidential ticket, which is crazy. He would destroy this country and destroy the next presidency.
You never reached out to RFK Jr.?
I like him a lot. Nope, never happened.
Yeah, he's never even reached out to him. So whoever's telling you this stuff, the same guys that are telling you that Vivek Ramaswamy is on the map, They don't get it. Vivek Ramaswamy, I love the guy. I'd have him on my show. I think he's a nice guy. I think he's a brilliant guy. I think he's a little too new to conservatism. I think his DNA going back is pretty thin. He scrubbed the support of that George Soros supported him. He scrubbed that off, paid to get it scrubbed off of Wikipedia. So I have some trust issues with the guy in that he.
And I feel like I've been hearing that a lot too. I've been hearing a lot of people say that they have trust issues with Vivek Ramaswamy, and I can see why. Him being new, him coming out of so I can see that. I can definitely see that he is a nice guy, and I like what he has to say about stuff. So I can see where Doug is coming from with this.
He's a fast talker, comes in.
And a lot
by the
of
way,
y'all.
all politicians to some degree make a shift in their values when they get into the election. So I don't get why the right was so enamored with making him vice president when there's so many better candidates than that on principle.
Is it fair to believe that you would have a number of your former officials in your new cabinet?
I will put some back, I'll tell you. And by the way, we had unbelievable people. We had some, look, I rebuilt
Yeah,
the
but
military.
your critics say you had plenty of personnel mistakes.
No, of course, but everybody does.
But Trump is going into this next administration a much wiser man this time. I think he knows.
And you got to think too. Having Trump in office, like I always say, nobody complains, so I don't know why people complaining now. But you are the head of you are the president of the United States. So y'all telling me any of y'all ain't gonna make mistakes or not one mistake when y'all go, everybody makes them. Everybody makes them. I make mistakes every day. But you learn from it. You fix it, and then just like Trump, he knows the mistakes, and you go back in and we fix. Come on, y'all. People got to start waking up.
He knows there's people out
People
to
gotta start
stab him
waking
in the
up,
back, and he's going to have his eyes open now.
What about some of your former
Gotta start
officials? Do you see them being in this next cabinet? Mike Pompeo, for example.
I don't know.
John Ratcliffe?
He's fantastic. I mean, he's a great guy. John Ratcliffe has done a great job. Yeah.
Dr. Ben Carson?
He's done a fantastic job.
So you're expecting them to be in your cabinet?
Some of them, yeah. I mean, if somebody did a good job, I would do that, yeah.
She only
Definitely.
brought up Mike Pompeo and Ben Carson to see if they were on the vice presidential running. She's trying to shake something out of him. He's not giving anything.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's already.
I don't know
let
if
that
it's
known.
because he knows or if he doesn't know. But now, as you know, I'm flip-flopping on this a lot. Now I'm starting to think, I don't know if he's decided or not. If you don't believe it's going to be Stefanik, Ben Carson, or J.D. Vance, tell me who you think it's going to be in the comp.
One thing about it, y'all, is that Doug will say that he don't think he knows who he's picking. Trump is a smart man, very intelligent. From the videos that I've seen, the videos that he knows who he picked. When you have that gut feeling, when you know your intuition, when you have that, oh, I know who I'm picking. I'm just not gonna let y'all know yet, but I know who I'm picking. If I don't know and I'm not sure about this person, I have another. So I know either Trump has picked this individual, or there's two individuals. There's two individuals. I know for a fact. Trump is way too the way that he moved, who he has, way too smart. I'm already knowing. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure y'all comment down below. Let me know y'all thoughts. Let me know who you think that he'll pick. Definitely much love to y'all. Thank y'all for sharing the videos, liking the videos up. Much love to everybody. I'm gonna try to get to most of y'all comments as much as I can, but stuff be popping up, and dealing with the girls. So and this bad little dog, I'm sure y'all heard him throughout the video. But definitely much love. Love y'all so much. Catch y'all next one.